we're back with a talking hat, the most painful motorcycle deaths ever. Let's get into it.
Face incident. In the summer of 2021, on a remote highway in Turkey, a young man deeply in love with his motorcycle woke up to a nice sunny day and decided that it was the best time to take his bike out for a spin. A nice leather jacket with protective boots, gloves, and a helmet was what this man quickly threw on before going out for the ride. Just kidding, he decided that he didn't want to wear any of that since it's a hot summer day.
Always wear your protection, no matter how hot it is, no matter how safe you think it is, no matter if you're dying inside of it. If you're going to drive a motorcycle out, always wear protective gear because you can never know. Or a lot of people rage at motorcycles a lot, and a lot of times there's motorcycle accidents. So you always want to wear protection just in case.
On the bright side,
Otherwise, you end
at
up
least
on
he
stuff like
decided to keep
this.
his helmet on, right?
Oh,
After making
no helmet. Oh, ooh. You're just stupid at that point if you don't wear a helmet. Even when bicycling, I'll wear a helmet. I don't care. I don't care how ridiculous I look, how demasculine I look. I care about my safety first.
sure that he was wearing no protective gear at all, this rider would then take his sport bike for a nice calm ride of 120 miles per hour.
What the fuck? Why are you doing 120 on a fucking bike? On a road? You should never be doing 120. I can get if it's a straightaway. You know how there's like empty like towns and stuff like that. That's not like super busy. It's like just a roadway, straight roadway, and you can see all like a big line in front of you just in case if you need to slow down. Even though you shouldn't be doing that, that's when it's like, okay, it's a little better, but with no protective gear, nothing on. I can see where this is going.
After hitting the highways, the rider couldn't
I
contain
guess he's gonna
himself
hit like
and
a
began
truck or
speeding as
something.
fast as possible on his bike. However, unbeknownst to him, a steep turn with a guardrail would appear on the highway out of nowhere. Unable to correct his path in time, he was flung from the bike and hurled face first into the corner of a steel guardrail. The impact was so violent that it completely removed the entire front of his head and face. His eyes, nose, jaw, and facial skin were instantly torn away, leaving only the back of his skull intact. Bystanders who arrived moments later could hardly process what they were seeing. It looked less like an accident and more like a war zone. They searched for his body, and upon a glimpse, were instantly traumatized since it didn't really look like a human anymore. Bystanders did what they could, but unfortunately, he never had a chance. Emergency responders pronounced him unresponsive at the scene.
That's why you be careful
This
out
next
there.
situation falls just past midnight on April 1st, 2025, in Phuket, Thailand. The streets were mostly empty, the air was heavy, and it was the kind of night that felt slower than it actually was. But not for one guy. This rider was flying down Bypass Road on a red and black Honda Forza, probably just out for a ride, maybe trying to clear his head, maybe just pushing the throttle for the thrill of it. Whatever the reason, he was moving fast. Very fast.
How fast?
Then, in a split second, everything went wrong. He lost control of the bike, and with no time to correct and no time to react, he slammed straight into an electricity pole. The crash wasn't just bad, it was horrific. The impact was so violent that it cut his body in half. His upper half was found under
In half? How fast do you gotta be going to have this cut you in half? Oh God, I need to react to more of this guy's stuff, but like, oh Jesus Christ.
the pole. His lower half? Thrown almost 200 feet down the road. His heart and organs were scattered across the scene, and somehow his helmet was still on, but it didn't save him. Not from that. They later confirmed he was a Russian national. They never released his name and just let his story be another brutal reminder of how unforgiving speed can be.
How fast you gotta be doing for that to make your motorcycle look like that? You gotta be pushing 2 to 300. Cause like even if you're going like 130, 140, you wouldn't be necessarily cut, and you could be cut in half, but the way the bike looked, like if you look at the bike here, it looks like he was pushing, because that's his bike, is it not? That's the wheel. For it to do this on like even parts of the bike, you gotta be pushing over 100. You just have to. Because I've seen accidents where they push like 180 and you can splat. You can definitely like be cut in half. But the bike would look messed up. Not like this. The bike wouldn't look like it fucking exploded on impact. The bike, yeah, because I don't know. He didn't say how much they're pushing though.
His name and just let his story be another brutal reminder of how unforgiving speed can be. You always think it won't happen to you until it does. The haircut incident. In Manacapuru, Brazil, a small riverside town that doesn't usually make international headlines would go viral for once, but for all the wrong reasons. A man was riding his motorcycle through the city streets, and from the looks of it, he wasn't really going slow. While another biker was trying to make a left turn, the man unknowingly would get into a head-on collision with him, and the crash would be so forceful that it would launch him right off of his bike, straight onto his head. And surprisingly, the accident wasn't too detrimental. He only suffered a couple of cuts and sprains to his body. That's what I would say if he was wearing a helmet. But once again, this rider decided to ride without one. So...
Why do people not wear helmets? Is it so, like, demasculating if people wear helmets? People are just so afraid to wear helmets because I want to look cool on my bike. Like, especially Harley riders. Harley riders hate wearing helmets. Wear your fucking helmets.
Instead, when he crashed and landed on his head, the force of the impact was so intense
that
it
fucking
ripped the
face.
skin right off his scalp. It wasn't just a cut or a gash. His scalp was completely peeled back, exposing raw bone. And when I say raw bone, I literally mean that his skull, muscle, and the whole horrifying anatomy of a human head were exposed to the world. A lot of people were confused by the bizarre nature of the accident and couldn't really understand how it could happen to a person. But, horrifyingly enough, it happens a lot. The injury is called degloving. Imagine the skin on your body being torn off like a glove. Probably not the best thing to imagine, but that's what doctors describe.
I don't want to, but this is gonna. How do we get back-to-back videos where I feel like I'm gonna fucking throw up? I get back-to-back videos. We did the videos just the other, not yesterday, but the day before, where I also was grossed out. Like, huh?
It as, and that's what happened to this man. The fire truck incident. On the 15 freeway in Rancho Cucamonga, California, a routine night drive turned into a deadly inferno, and it all started with a motorcyclist and a semi-truck. The exact reason isn't clear. No one knows if the biker swerved, miscalculated, or just didn't see the truck coming. But what we do know is that he collided with the big rig at freeway speed, which is anywhere from 65 to 85 miles per an hour, and the impact was devastating. As if smashing into a semi-truck on a motorcycle isn't already bad enough, the biker would be trapped underneath the vehicle while its diesel leaked out of its fuel tank. And unfortunately for him, the sparks from the accident would light both his motorcycle and the 30,000-pound semi-truck up in a blaze. The truck driver was quick enough to escape, but once again, since the biker was trapped, he was engulfed in what would be known as one of the biggest fires the freeway had seen in years. This fire was so big that it took 3 fire engines to try to control the blaze, and the highway was shut down for hours. When they finally arrived at his body, they immediately called it the sign incident. In Thailand,
I want to say, how is that worse than the one? I feel like I feel like that should be came before the degloving scalpel, because that's bad. It's bad. It burned up in flames is bad. But I wouldn't say it's horrifying as getting your whole scalp removed. But then again, I digress. Being burnt alive is fucking insane as well.
Sometime around 2019, on a highway just outside of Bangkok, where traffic moves fast and helmet laws
I also bang a long cock.
Are, let's say, loosely followed, a guy,
once
again, not wearing a helmet, was riding his motorcycle at a high
There's
rate
no
of speed,
helmet fucking drivers, dude.
While going down the road, his bike would randomly hit a pothole, and his attempt to avoid it would be where things went horribly wrong. he heavily swerved and got launched off his bike so forcefully that it'd throw him airborne and he'd go flying for a few seconds.
Splat.
Which actually sounds kind of fun, because bouncing and flying around in a controlled area is usually a fun experience. Whether you've gone bungee jumping, skydiving,
Not
or
the
have
time for this
randomly
bullshit.
experienced flying in your dreams, I'd say it's a pretty enjoyable thing.
Not the
Just not
time
when
for
you
this.
go flying headfirst into a road sign, which is what happened to this
Ugh.
guy. He was flung so hard at the road sign that it perfectly decapitated his head and left his body continuing on with its momentum. And disturbingly, his head actually hit the sign so hard that it became stuck to it. The scene was so brutal that it even traumatized seasoned first responders. And obviously, sadly, he passed away. The paper incident.
Where did the body end up? Where did the body end up? The body probably hit somebody's fucking car. Imagine walking home that night. As an EMS, as an officer, as a bystander, I'm done. Quitting all my jobs. Fucking, I'm done. Put me in a mental hospital, please. Put me in a mental hospital. Put me to sleep for a month. Please.
Late 2015, a motorcyclist in Shenzhen, or Guangzhou, a busy Chinese city,
Nightmare
was
fuel,
on his way
God.
to work when he stumbled across heavy traffic and a very large cement mixing truck on the road. As is common in densely populated urban cities, he began lane splitting in between traffic to get through the cars.
Okay.
Funnily enough, this is actually a
seems
good
normal
thing
for
for
a
most
biker.
bikers to do, as lane splitting lessens congested traffic and heavily reduces the risk of motorcycles getting rear-ended by cars that don't see them. So
Yeah.
this rider gets a gold star
It's a hit or
for practicing
miss.
smart riding. Ironically, however,
You still can't be stupid about it. You still have to pay attention.
when the light turned green, he accidentally dropped his bike and fell off of it right in front of that ginormous cement mixing truck I mentioned earlier. Panic exploded out from bystanders, and they would all try to get the trucker to stop driving, but by the time he had even noticed he rode over anything, it was already too late.
How do you not notice? I get cement trucks are fucking huge, and I get they you know they have big ass tires and shit. How do you not notice when you hit something? I've seen truck drivers can fucking notice when they hit something because they can feel it. How do you not feel that shit?
All 12 wheels of the 30,000-pound truck trampled over his body. The rider wasn't just crushed, he was effectively flattened into the road's pavement.
This poor fucking
Witnesses
dude.
and first responders described his body as being no thicker than a sheet of paper on the road. City
Ugh.
sanitation workers and police disturbingly had to resort to using shovels to scrape his body off the road and put it into a dustpan. His body was so pulverized that he couldn't
dustpan?
even be put into a casket for burial. I don't really know why you like traumatizing yourself with stories like these, but that's all for now.
Shut the
Have a
fuck
happy
up.
day.
You did this to me. You did this to me. Don't blame this on me. It's not my fault that this video is so fucking popular on your channel. It's old but so popular. That was I can't. I gotta stop finding videos that I have no idea that I know. Like I see the titles like, oh, the most painful motorcycle deaths ever, and I need to put my expectations a lot lower than I do.